Let's start today by discussing common financial mistakes people tend to make. As we discussed in the last session, financial success starts with self-awareness. A major obstacle that often affects one's personal happiness and emotional well-being is one's early childhood programming. During one's formative development, before you could walk and talk, you were already learning and formatting new habits. All these experiences, good and bad, that you watched or personally experienced have been embedded into your subconsciousness. Not only have they contributed to who you are today, but they've also had a profound impact on how you perceive the world, especially wealth. Unless you make a conscious effort to identify and change learned negative triggers, you will continue to get caught in the same emotional traps, which often results in the same negative outcomes. Bottom line, if you want to achieve different financial outcomes, then you need to start identifying your triggers so you can change your perspective and reprogram early emotional responses to achieve different results. So what are the common emotionally driven mistakes people tend to make which harm their financial outcome? First and foremost, not getting out of your own way. One of the main reasons so many people never achieve their financial goals or success is because they succumb to their fears and never make any effort to get out of their own negative comfort zones. Always looking for the other shoe to drop. Always expecting things to go wrong. That type of negative thinking is unproductive and can lead to self-fulfilling prophecies. You need to trust yourself, the process, and others. Stop assuming the worst. It's my way or the highway. If you're someone who must do things your own way, your rigid behavior may create unforeseen barriers which will prevent you from obtaining your overall financial success. Remember, people never become successful on their own. Everyone needs help from others at some point in time. Find your shared voice. Playing the victim. No one has control over your financial well-being unless you choose to give them that power. If you want things to change financially, then start taking responsibility for your actions and circumstances. Stop blaming others for the poor decisions you choose to make or avoid making out of fear. Keeping up with the Joneses. Stop trying to compare yourself to others. Do not allow the negative comments of a select few dictate how you perceive yourself. Always comparing your financial success or failure to others is the quickest way to lose your own way. Respect yourself by following your own financial plans and avoid the drama of making rash, emotional decisions in an effort to keep pace with someone else. Getting stuck in your head. Your negative thoughts can turn you into your own worst enemy. To quote the Chinese Tao philosopher Lao Tzu, watch your thoughts, they become words. Watch your words, they become actions. Watch your actions, they become habits. Watch your habits, they become character. Watch your character, it becomes your destiny. Stop worrying about how other people will perceive your ideas or actions, and don't overanalyze every little detail, or you become too paralyzed to take any action. Now, let's talk about financial obesity. What is it? Financial obesity refers to one's obsessive and self-sabotaging need to constantly overspend and remain financially unhealthy. We as a society have been negligent in helping to prepare adults of all ages for their financial success. More and more adults are now finding themselves financially illiterate and ill-prepared to achieve their financial success. This is largely due to a lack of information in most U.S. high schools and colleges, along with continued generational cycles of financial illiteracy. Due to the lack of financial education, many have been left ill-equipped to make good personal and financial decisions. This hinders opportunities to help become successful and financially independent. Why is it problematic? Well, as a result, adults now find themselves overwhelmed by the industry and misconceptions surrounding money and spending, combined with underlying pre-programmed emotions. This is why so many adults struggle with financial obesity. Financial obesity is an affliction that leaves many adults trapped in an unhealthy, self-sabotaging, and vicious cycle of living beyond their financial means. Much the same way one self-medicates through their addiction of choice, the financially obese are obsessive-compulsively driven to soothe themselves through their drug of choice, spending money they don't have in order to fill their emotional voids. Ashley is a young woman, up-and-coming professional who spends the majority of her time daydreaming about the big house, car, and lifestyle that she's seen so many successful people achieve in the media. It has almost become an obsession. Sadly, Ashley graduated with a lot of student debt. She also never learned how to budget and track her income and expenses. Therefore, she often finds herself in financial chaos. She spends her hard-earned money with the intensity of an addict. Just as overeaters don't manage their food intake, financially obese people live way beyond their financial means and don't properly manage their money. As a result, their financial woes are often magnified by their habitual use of credit cards to further extend their income, and they use shopping as a crutch to avoid feelings of unhappiness and low self-esteem. As we've discussed, most young adults continue to learn their good or bad financial habits by observing their parents, friends, or others. These early exposures often dictate how a child will emotionally or strategically manage their relationship with money as an adult. Will he be confident, fearful, frugal, or thrifty? When one has an unhealthy emotional relationship with money, it becomes the catalyst for so many financial obesity issues. The good news is, the misconceptions and lack of financial education that lead to financial obesity is avoidable. If you can also be reversible if you choose to acknowledge your bad debt and previous overspending habits as problematic and detrimental to your financial success. In our last session, we discussed the first reality of personal finance, self-awareness. Now, I'd like to introduce you to the second reality, developing your own tools for personal financial success. It's the understanding of how to utilize the necessary financial tools and concepts to help you avoid emotional self-sabotage. Develop a good strategic goal and action steps for financial success. Now, there are a few ideas you'll need to remember in order to develop your own success. The first one is getting out of your negative comfort zone. Unfortunately, most people today continue to be educated by a constant barrage of ads and commercials created by manipulative advertising and media companies, which illustrate how much better off our lives would be if we spent money on things which help us materialistically compete with our peers and neighbors. As a result of several decades of easy credit in combination with years of economic uncertainty, many people now find themselves financially obese and desperately falling deeper into the vicious cycle of being trapped financially. They are overextended and unable to pay back the money which they borrowed on their credit cards. As a result, they continue to incur higher and higher outstanding balances. As their balances grow, the interest compounds, their credit card bills increase, and their financial holes become deeper and deeper. So where do we go from here? How do we reverse the effects? To start reversing the effects of financial obesity and illiteracy, we need to first re-educate ourselves on disciplined money management concepts that lead to healthy financial infrastructures. Albert Einstein once said, the greatest law of the universe is the law of compounding.
What would your life be like with extra income? The peace of mind that comes from multiple income streams and a more secure future for you and your family.
With the strategy that I learned at OTA, I made $32,000 in less than 7 trading days.
My best trade ever was the day of the Brexit. I made in 3 hours, I made $12,000.
With the right training and guidance, you can learn the skills to become a more confident investor and make your money work harder for you. Want to find out what's possible for you? You can, as long as you're willing to take the first step and call OTA today.
Call for your free tickets right now, and you'll also receive a free Professional Insiders kit loaded with lessons from some of our top instructors on topics like enhancing your retirement strategy, capital preservation, and income generation. The Professionals Insider Kit makes it so you can get started right now.